Music was in the courts back in Mozart's time. Now it's in the universities. And I think it's our job in the universities to preserve this music and foster it.
Home to one of the largest and most diverse jazz education programs in the world, the University of North Texas became the first institution to offer a college degree in jazz studies in 1947.
I came here for my audition, and Stephen Carlson, the piano professor, I got to play for him and meet him, and he said something to me that kind of just landed, which was, come here because you'll be inspired here. This is a place where you can grow and where you can be inspired. And I mean, he was right.
I see myself as a jazz psychologist, in that you kind of have to tailor-make everybody, differently.
We have a variety of styles and thoughts amongst the faculty and amongst the students, which is very healthy. It's not a cookie cut, and that's a challenge in jazz education, to try to codify things, but yet still have people be inspired to seek their own identity and their own direction.
Trying to teach the emotion aspect of jazz, I think, is probably the most challenging thing, to get people to play with emotion and to create ideas. I always say that for my students, I want them to have a plaque above their door that says, "Creator of Fine Ideas."
The faculty is incredible. I mean, it's been so nice to have entire classes with most of the faculty members and get to take a class from them and get their approach on music and playing and improvising and life and so many different aspects of what it takes to be a musician, not even just playing or improvising.
I personally believe that we should all be both students and teachers of this music our whole life. There really shouldn't be any distinction. I learn a lot from teaching, because every time, I'm probed with a question, it's kind of like, okay, what is that?
You're not going to learn the history of jazz and the depth of the harmonic content that jazz requires just on your own. There has to be instruction, guidance, and leading to being able to get those skills together. And so I think the students are led to do that here.
I'm taking a poetry class right now, or a history class, because it's all part of the education, and the more that you can bring to the table, the more knowledge you have about the world, the more that translates into music.
Probably the biggest key factor here at North Texas is the community of students, the kind of critical mass that happens when you have this many talented, hungry, serious students that want to do something so precious as to further their own creative drive.
It should be the school of everyone's dreams, where everybody helps each other out. And that's exactly what I got. I don't think I'd be in this band right now if it weren't for their help.
I was expecting things from what I had heard about people saying about the school in the 80s or in the 90s, and talking about the school being really cutthroat or really hardcore or anything like that. It's definitely serious and it's definitely competitive, but to me, from my personal perspective on it, coming in as a master's student, is that it's just seemed like nothing but positive.
It is a competitive environment. Everyone will tell you that. Very competitive with the lab band system the way it is. Everyone is also looking for that one thing, because everyone has that one thing that they bring to the table that no one else brings the same way. That's a profound part of meeting people at this school and in this environment, is finding that thing and celebrating that thing that every person has to bring to the table.
I met the last trombone player that was playing the solo chair in the 1 o'clock. Nick Wodarczyk. He started throwing me gigs left and right. He didn't even know me. He didn't know how I played. He was just like, "Hey, you're new in town, you want to come play?" That kind of attitude is what's great about this area.
It's really pretty remarkable that the level of commitment and professionalism of these younger students. And there are other students that aren't as young. There are people well into their 20s and into their 30s here. So it's a nice cross-section of a generational perspective.
It allows you to just embrace freedom, experiment, present your own voice, and there's something extremely rewarding about that and so fulfilling.
You have to be a craftsman, you have to be good at your instrument, but you need to be as versatile as you can, because we don't know where music's going. It's always evolving, it's always changing, and the more versatile you can be, the more opportunities there are for you to work.
I sometimes wonder, what are all these graduates going to do? Are they going to make it? But I have faith that the cream floats to the top, and the outstanding musicians are going to do well. I do think a musician has a lot of options. You know, he can teach, he can play, he can write, he can teach privately or teach in a college or high school. You know, I mean, there are a lot of choices there for developing a lifestyle.
And the incredible network that North Texas has throughout the world is such a benefit. As a kid can go to New York and say, yeah, I went to North Texas, who do you know? Boom, 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 and immediately a bond is struck up.
But one of the cool things is that it's amazingly affordable. There's a lot of very exciting places to learn about jazz in this country, United States, that also come with a pretty hefty price tag. Here, you can get in-state tuition if you get a basic scholarship, and that makes it unbelievably affordable. It's a fourth of what a lot of other schools cost. So, and that's a full package of tuition and in the dorms and food and everything. So, along with being one of the best creative environments I've ever seen, community-wise, parents can take great happiness from the fact that it's incredibly affordable.
Where I really feel I can help is to kick them in the ass to get out of here. Because this is a musical womb. It's a utopia. So the first thing you have to do, I feel, is get away from that dichotomy of I can't do it or I can do it. Just do it. That's the only way you're going to find out.